How do we approach children who are struggling with any skill, academically, behaviorally, emotionally? How do we do that? With any skill that children are struggling with, the first thing we're going to do is observe, right? If they're struggling, if we think they're struggling with an academic skill, we're going to observe. What's going on here? What might be getting in the way? What solutions could I come to? So we're going to do some observation, and then we're going to do some reflection on that observation. And then we're going to provide the right key lesson and support for that child. So we're going to offer just the right, multiplication lesson, or just the right grace and courtesy lesson to support their conflict resolution skills, right? That's what we do when we see a child struggling. We offer them just the right key to support that, and then we offer them a lot of opportunity to practice that skill. And when they don't yet have a skill, guess what? They're going to make a lot of mistakes. That's part of the process. And so it's easy, I think, for us as adults to see how we can do that with academic skills. But it's harder for us to have the patience to do that when it's a behavioral or an emotional skill. Then we often fall back on other things, and instead what we need to do is approach it just like we would an academic skill and say, okay, I'm going to offer a key lesson. We'll have a little conversation, and then we'll see how that skill gets practiced and whether we need to do some more support. After that happens for a while, we also can seek external support just like we would for an academic skill. So we can talk to our colleagues or our administrators, or then perhaps beyond, talk to the parents, all of it. Same exact way that we do that academically, we can do for behavior, social, and emotional issues. It's just skills they need to acquire, and we have to help them get those skills. In the Montessori classroom, we do this in a number of ways, or in the Montessori approach to children. At the heart of it, we're always going to have that complete confidence in children to develop these skills. We're going to work collaboratively with them to help them acquire these skills. And at the elementary level, that means that we have some conversations with them at neutral times. What's going on here? How can I help? And at the real heart of this too is that we actually listen to what the children tell us. So when we ask what's going on, or, why, don't ask why they did something, because often they don't know. But if we ask what's going on here, when they really tell you, you have to listen and show them you've actually heard that. I just get so upset when Ishmael works with Sally, and Sally's my best friend, and okay, don't brush off that feeling. You have to show the children that you really hear them and that you understand that that's, hard. And then we can start looking at ways to solve or navigate the situation. All too often, and all those ineffective approaches we talked about, that really understanding and empathizing with the child, that's ignored. And what's really going to be powerful for children, and what we know works for them, is when we really hear them and value them. And that's a principle throughout all our work with them, and it needs to stay there even when they are exhibiting some behaviors that are challenging. We use our relationship in navigating all of this. So we show the children that we are someone they can trust, that we are on their side no matter what, and that we know they can do it. We can use our senses of humor with this if it's appropriate for the situation. We can use the whole community to support. This is a classroom where we support someone who needs support, and we are empowered to offer that to each other. That's okay. We all have our strengths. We all have the things we're working on. That's all okay. And we support one another in that. So the community is also there to help. Let the community do that. When we swoop in and do punishments, we've deprived the community of the opportunity of giving really clear, natural consequences to decisions and actions. The community can manage a lot of this as well if we let it. So sometimes we aren't going to swoop in. We're going to see if anyone else takes care of this issue that we see occurring. So all of these things really build a sense of agency in all the children, that they can control themselves, and they can help each other control each other in terms of behavior in the classroom. And they know that these are things they can work on and get support in, but that it's not going to destroy relationships with adults or with each other. We have to remember, in all aspects of children's development, academic, social, emotional, behavioral, development is not linear. There will be progress and regression in all areas. And that's okay. That's how development works. And so we have to be okay with that, even when it comes to behavioral issues in the classroom. We have to recognize that power of the community to support it. And we have to remember that freedom and responsibility and self-regulation all emerge from practice and experience. So that means they're going to make mistakes. They're going to mess up. Even after you have a great collaborative conversation, they may go mess it up 5 minutes later. That's part of the learning process, and we have to show them that we're there to support them even when the behavior is problematic. Now, there's a great resource with a lot more detail. I've mentioned Dr. Ross Greene, and that his collaborative and proactive solutions is a really detailed response to working on challenging behaviors with children. And so, I encourage you to take a look at that. But in general, our approach in the classroom, or the way that we treat every child with respect and value, is the best way to really tackle these problems head on, and to support children in their development, and to not use those ineffective strategies, but the ones that really work for children: relationship, collaboration, community, and total confidence in children that they can acquire these skills.